Brad Williams, XL Prime, lookup sales rep or max retail sales for a specific month. We have two different examples here. And let me show you what's going on. We have sales rep, we have retail sales, and we have sales date. We're going to look at this from two different functions, formulas. First, we're going to look at max retail sales for a month. Then we're going to look at sales reps and determine who has the highest retail sales. Here we have our data. We have name range, sales rep, B5, B15, retail sales, C5, C15, sales date, D5, D15, normal stuff. Here we have our sales dates. And F9, it's important here because there is a new function we're going to introduce. Well, I just need to explain how you lay this thing out. You're going to get different results. Max sales here. Sales rep with the max sales right here. Here's our first formula, max. We use the max function. What are we doing with the max function? We're just looking at returning the maximum. We're down here, max here. Returns the largest number. That's all we're looking for. Our predefined dates. We need to capture this entire month, and then we want to look at this range, determine what the highest sales are. Here, we're just using an if statement. If true, then give us the output. Internally, we have to convert this number into something that can be read, and we're just going to use text. We have this value, we have our sales. We need a month year. In order for this to be read, we need to text sales date, which is the D5 to D15. We have to put that in month year format. It has to equal text G4, this C up here, the dates, month year. That has to be true. We're just looking for 1 of 2029. If true, then just give us retail sales. The max just goes through and just finds that number. F9, and you're going to see it's going to go through and it's going to find the highest number. What's critical here is this conversion, this text and text. That's using max. We have another function we can use. It's MAXIFS. Well, like any of the ifs functions, it's all criteria based. Our formula looks like this: retail sales, which is our max range, our criteria, range, then our criteria, range, and our criteria. Notice we're not manipulating the dates here. We're working within the criteria. Now, what's critical here, we have this greater than or equal to and G4. Given that this date can be willy-nilly, in other words, it could capture, see, for example, we're using 121. This is our criteria. So we're saying greater than or equal to G4. MAXIF is only going to look at this specific date moving to the end of the month. So that's why we have a difference here between the first MAXIF, the first max, and the MAXIFs. Work through it. Now, I know it's challenging to look through this because all we have are serial numbers, F9. We could see here, if we look at the range, F9, see, we're going to get a bunch of serial numbers, and it's really difficult to parse that. So just logically look through this and tear it apart. What I did here is I took this number, and it may be different, but I took this hypothetical number, let's say it's 117,229. That's how MAXIF is interpreting our input. It's greater than, so that's why there's a difference. And then we just grab this other range, same range as sales date 229. We want to show the last of the month. All I did, I modified this, and I just took end of month. You know how to do this by now. You go end of month. In order to get the first 1/1/2029, we just go back 1 month and add 1 day. we're viewing this as just the entire month. Every date, if it January, it's going to be January 1st through January 31st. Our numbers match up. In terms of the sales reps, we're going to use index match. Index match, as you know, we're specifically looking for a match, and then index is going to just find that particular row. So we have our array, we have our row number. Looks intimidating. Don't worry about it. It's not that difficult. It's the formula up above in max, but we're changing up a few things. One, we have this 1, which is our lookup value. We're looking up 1. Our lookup array, F9, is this retail sales equals G5. We're just capturing the large here from max sales. And text, sales date, month, year, equals the same thing we used before, text. We want 0, an exact match. Index match is just going to go through. It's going to find Jim Wilhelm. We have this other sales rep match, sales G4. Are we stealing anything here? I think it's the exact same formula. And here, I just referenced the G7, just the MAXIFS. Not a big deal. You understand this? We're just looking for sales rep. Match is just going to find the row. And that number is going to be F9 is 11. And so match it, just match this. Now over in the narrative, I sometimes leave some helpful tips in there. Take a look at it. There's some legacy stuff in here, and then there's a couple of other formulas that I did not include that may work for your particular situation or your example. And the anatomy, anything new here? This MAXIFS is functional. Just keep in mind what our goal here is. Because we are capturing this entire month, note that using that G4, taking this approach greater than or equal to, you can microscope this thing, or you could take the broad approach and grab the entire month. Other than that, same old stuff. Text function, just remember, converts a value into text, converts a value into text with a specific number format. Break it down if you need to. Right here, text DYMY. What does it do? It's just grabbing 129. Excel will then convert that over into the proper output. Control-Shift-Enter for older versions of Excel. Brad Williams, Excel Prime.